Li Han placed his hand on his chest and said that he has finally reached the starting line of his mission. Kuro walked up to Li Han. He asked Li Han if he is feeling okay. Li Han smiled and told Kuro not to worry about him. Octo walked up to Li Han. He congratulated Li Han on passing the test. He gave Li Han a watch. He told Li Han that the watch is a state-of-the-art technology created by ARC. It is called a bracelet terminal. Immediately, Octo described the watch to Li Han. A sound came out of the bracelet terminal. The bracelet created a small hologram of Li Han and said that it has registered Li Han as a trainee. Li Han was surprised to see a hologram of himself. Octo was excited to see the look on Li Han's face. He wanted to tell Li Han more about the functions of the watch, but he got cut off by Sergeant Red. Sergeant Red told the students that class allocation will begin soon. He urged the students to immediately attend their assigned classes. He told the students that they will be split up according to their abilities. He told the students that ARC has grade A to D. He told the students that their grades will be allocated to them based on their results from the 3 weeks training. He revealed to the students that they can advance to the next grade if they become skilled enough. He congratulated the 25 students that made it into ARC. He told the students that he knows they call him a crazy bastard. The students were terrified to hear this. With a menacing look in his eyes, he told the students that he is not a crazy bastard, instead he is an insane bastard. The scene shifts and we see Sergeant Red allocating the students' class to them. Simon was the only one that made it to grade A. Kuro and 3 other students made it to grade B. 5 students got into grade C and 15 students made it into grade D. Li Han was among the students in grade D, but he was not bothered about it. He believed that he would soon increase his grade. The students in grade C and D were asked to follow a huge man called Instructor Wei. The students were terrified to see Instructor Wei. They were surprised to see an instructor more terrifying than Sergeant Red. With a big smile on his face, Instructor Wei introduced himself to the students. He told the students that his name is Wei Chen and he is the weapons art instructor. He told the students that the class will be hard, so they have to rely on each other and do their best. The students were surprised to find out that Instructor Wei was more gentle than they thought. Their hearts melted when they saw his smile. The grade A and B students were asked to move out. While they were marching away, Kuro passed by Li Han with tears in his eyes and his head down. Li Han told him to not worry. He assured Kuro that he will be joining his grade soon. Kuro became happy when he heard this. Instructor Wei asked his students to move to the gym. At the gym, Instructor Wei removed his uniform and wore a martial art outfit. He picked up a staff and displayed some incredible moves to the students. The students were shocked to see this. Li Han was completely blown away by what he saw. Instructor Wei told the students that they must be curious about why they are learning how to use weapons when they will be fighting dragons. He told the students that they are learning how to use weapons because they will use psychic weapons. He revealed to the students that no material on Earth can contain psychic energy except a dragon's bone. A dragon bone can contain psychic energy, and it can transmit that energy. He told the students that weapons made out of dragon's bones can inflict critical injuries on dragons. Li Han asked Instructor Wei how people were able to defeat dragons when psychic weapons were not yet made. Instructor Wei was sad to hear this question. He told Li Han that people used to throw their bodies at dragons in the past. He told Li Han that they used to lose 100 Psykers to a single dragon. He revealed to Li Han that there are Psykers who attack from a long distance, but the finishing blow to kill a dragon must be done with a melee weapon. A Psyker must use a melee weapon because they need to plunge their weapon into a vital point in the dragon's body and release psychic energy into it in order to kill it. He told Li Han that the person who uses a weapon to kill the dragon is known as the Striker. The students were amazed to hear about the role of the Striker. They believed that a striker was a cool person. Instructor Wei asked the students to pick their weapon for class. Li Han picked up a wooden spear. Instructor Wei asked Li Han if he likes the spear. Li Han said that he does. He told Instructor Wei that he likes the sound and the refreshing wind the spear creates when it is swung. Instructor Wei smiled when he heard this. He believed that Li Han was an extraordinary kid who possesses the ability to adapt and judge. He got this understanding of Li Han thanks to how Li Han handled Sergeant Red. He was certain that Li Han had the potential to be great. He smiled and told Li Han that he will do his best to help him. 2 weeks later, we see Li Han dueling with another student. The student also used a spear like Li Han. Li Han told the boy that he looks tired. He told the boy whose name is Jose to give up. Jose smiled and told Li Han to stop trying to buy time in order to rest. He rushed to attack Li Han. He used the tip of his spear to brush Li Han's face. Li Han quickly turned the attack on Jose. He used his spear to push Jose's spear down. Lee Han was happy with the feat he achieved. He said he has won everyone in his class in a duel, with his last opponent being Jose, the class rep. Jose had to give up when he saw that Lee Han already overpowered him. Lee Han shook Jose's hand and told him that he learned a lot from him. Jose told Lee Han that he will be advancing into grade C next week. He told Lee Han that he wants him to take the position of class rep. Lee Han was surprised to hear this. Lee Han told Jose that he cannot simply become the class rep all because he wants to. Jose smiled and told Lee Han that the other students will follow him. He told Lee Han that the students have already discussed it among themselves. Lee Han thanked Jose and the other students for making him class rep. He was very happy to get the position because it drew him closer to his goal. The scene shifts and we see Sergeant Red tell Lee Han, "No," with a terrifying look on his face. In the next scene, we see some men working out. The men were discussing about Sergeant Red. One of the men said that Sergeant Red has a horrible temper. He said that he has been beaten up by Sergeant Red countless times. He told his friend that a first-year student is about to fight Sergeant Red. The scene shifts and we see Lee Han holding a sharpened stick and Sergeant Red using his fire to light his tobacco. The men that were walking out went to a window to cheer Lee Han up. One of them told Lee Han to beat Sergeant Red. Another man warned him to not shout because Sergeant Red will hear his voice. Sergeant Red smiled when he heard what the young men said. He called them brats. With a look of anger on his face, Lee Han remembered what Sergeant Red said to him. Sergeant Red told Lee Han that he cannot become the class rep of his grade. He asked the other students if there is anyone among them that wants to become the class rep. He asked the other students if they want to allow a psychic retard who can't use telekinesis properly to become their class rep. None of the students answered him. Sergeant Red called the students imbeciles. He accepted the fact that the students must have chose Lee Han for a reason. He broke a mop stick and gave it to Lee Han. Sergeant Red had heard that Lee Han is the best in armed combat in his class. He told Lee Han to show him his skills by sparring with him. Lee Han told Sergeant Red that the end of the mop stick is too sharp. Sergeant Red was annoyed to hear this. He asked Lee Han if he believes that he will be able to hurt him with his novice spearmanship. Lee Han said that he does not believe that. We are taken back to the present, and we see Sergeant Red take off his jacket. Lee Han asked Sergeant Red if he is going to fight him with his bare hands. Sergeant Red told Lee Han that he cannot take a fight with a child seriously. He threw his tobacco away and told Lee Han that he will win if he is able to make any part of his body touch the ground. Lee Han asked Sergeant Red about the rule that makes him lose. Sergeant Red told Lee Han that he will lose once he admits defeat. With a confident look on his face, Lee Han told Sergeant Red that he will not be losing. Lee Han carefully moved his spear around Sergeant Red. Sergeant Red kept his guard up and watched Lee Han's movements. The scene shifts and we see grade B students talking about Lee Han. They could not believe Lee Han was actually going to fight Sergeant Red. They believed that it was impossible to beat an instructor. Simon was surprised to hear what the grade B students were talking about. He moved in between the students to see Lee Han. He called Lee Han a crazy bastard. Lee Han attacked Sergeant Red with his spear, but Sergeant Red easily blocked the attacks with his hand. When Lee Han noticed that Sergeant Red was blocking his attack, he tried to attack Sergeant Red from the sky. Unfortunately for him, Sergeant Red caught him before he could land an attack. He grabbed Lee Han and used his knee to kick his stomach. Lee Han screamed in pain. He fell on the floor and was wailing in pain while he was on the floor. Sergeant Red decided to stomp on him with his boot. Fortunately for Lee Han, he was able to sense the attack and dodge it. He quickly moved back to create some space between Sergeant Red and him. While breathing heavily, Lee Han realized that Sergeant Red was seriously going to kill him. Sergeant Red told Lee Han that dragons and their minions slaughter everything in their path. He told Lee Han that the monsters will not go easy on him just because he is weak. He told Lee Han that the fear he is currently feeling is nothing compared to what he will feel when he faces a dragon. Lee Han stood up and asked Sergeant Red if he fights with his mouth. Sergeant Red was surprised to see that Lee Han still wanted to fight. He grabbed Lee Han's stick and used it to throw him up. Lee Han's head hit the floor when he landed. Lee Han quickly stood up and tried to get over the pain. Sergeant Red noticed a cut on his face when Lee Han landed. The other students became hyped when they saw the cut on Sergeant Red's face. They told Lee Han to break Sergeant Red's nose. Lee Han immediately rushed to attack Sergeant Red. Sergeant Red decided to carefully watch Lee Han to see how he moves. While he was thinking of what to do, Lee Han moves to his back and attacked him. Sergeant Red carefully dodged the attacks. He realized that Lee Han was using centrifugal force and momentum to attack him. He finally understood why Instructor Wei liked Lee Han. With a smile on his face, he realized that he was also beginning to like Lee Han. he decided to take Li Han's final strike head-on. When he received the attack, Li Han's stick broke, but it was able to leave a huge cut on his body. With a terrifying look on his face, he removed the piece of wood that pierced his skin. He grabbed Li Han by his neck and told him that it is time they put an end to their fight. He asked Li Han to surrender. He used his fire ability to burn Li Han's neck. Li Han could only scream in pain while this was happening. The Grade B students and Simon were shocked to see this. One of them said that Sergeant Red was going too far. Sergeant Red continued to burn Li Han with his fire. He asked Li Han to surrender. Li Han told him that he will never give up. Instructor Wei ran to check out the duel between Sergeant Red and Li Han. He was shocked to see Sergeant Red burning Li Han's neck. As he ran towards them, he screamed at Sergeant Red. He asked Sergeant Red if he is trying to kill Li Han. When Sergeant Red saw Instructor Wei, he let Li Han go. He told Instructor Wei that Li Han never gave up, and he did not lose. While holding Li Han in his hands, Instructor Wei told Sergeant Red that he is sick and tired of the ARC's way of education. The other students began to boo Sergeant Red for how he treated Li Han. Sergeant Red shouted at them. He told them to shut up. He told Instructor Wei that the duel ended in Li Han's victory because he did not give up. As he walked away, he told Instructor Wei that he needs to stop protecting the children. He told Instructor Wei that Li Han will be promoted to B class once he wakes up. Simon, Jose, and the other students were shocked to hear this. The scene shifts and we see Sergeant Red talking to a doctor. Sergeant Red told the doctor that he has raised Li Han to Grade B. He told her that it will appear on the promotion list. The doctor asked Sergeant Red if the higher-ups would allow a promotion from Class D to B. Sergeant Red told her that Li Han is already good enough to reach Class A. He said that the only thing stopping Li Han is his psychic potential. The doctor reminded Sergeant Red that the higher-ups really value psychic potential. Sergeant Red told her that the higher-ups don't know anything. He told her that one does not need psychic abilities to kill a dragon. Instead, one needs a strong mentality to thrust their weapons into the vital parts of the dragon while under extreme fear. He told her that Li Han has the potential to become the greatest striker thanks to his bravery. He believed that it would be a waste for Li Han to rot in lower class because he is a late psychic bloomer. He told the doctor that Li Han might actually save the world one day. The doctor was surprised to see Sergeant Red praising someone so heavily. She told Sergeant Red that she thought he dislikes Li Han. Sergeant Red told her that he actually likes Li Han. The doctor was shocked to hear this, especially after what Sergeant Red did to Li Han. She told Sergeant Red that he is a sadist. 7 days after Li Han had been sent to the hospital, Instructor Wei came to check on him. Instead of going inside Li Han's room, he decided to peep through a tiny glass. The doctor asked Instructor Wei if he is not going to go in. She asked Instructor Wei about what he is carrying. Instructor Wei told her that he brought some snacks for Li Han. The doctor asked him about why he has not entered the room. Instructor Wei showed her what Li Han was doing. He told her that he does not want to distract Li Han. Li Han was trying to raise a marble up with his telekinesis. After focusing on the marble, Li Han was able to raise it up. The doctor and Instructor Wei were very happy to see Li Han succeed. They even high-fived. They quickly put themselves together and went their separate ways. Instructor Wei entered Li Han's room. He greeted Li Han and asked him about how he is feeling. Li Han told his instructor that he is feeling well thanks to him. Instructor Wei cut some fruits for Li Han and told him that he is proud of him for practicing telekinesis even though he is hospitalized. Li Han told Instructor Wei that he wanted to practice before he got discharged because his psychic grade is below average. Instructor Wei commends him for making a smart decision. He told Li Han that even though he's exceptional at combat, Psyker must be able to use telekinesis to some extent because battles usually occur in the air, and one needs to use telekinesis to quickly retrieve their weapon if it ever falls during combat. While talking, Instructor Wei had an idea. He went to meet the nurse. He told her that he needs to take Li Han outside for a little while. He took Li Han to the gym. Li Han asked Instructor Wei about why he brought him to the gym. With a serious look on his face, Instructor Wei told Li Han that he might never manifest a quirk thanks to his psychic development speed. He told Li Han to not dream of ever getting any quirk. With a blue light shining in his eyes, he asked Li Han about how he wants to fight, while making countless metal rods float in the air. Instructor Wei told Li Han that he needs to hone his telekinesis to the utmost limit. He advised Li Han to make telekinesis his quirk. Li Han was surprised to hear this. This was the first time someone was telling him to specialize in telekinesis. While stepping on the metal rods, Instructor Wei told Li Han that psychic abilities are like muscles. They become stronger the more you use and train them. Instructor Wei told Li Han that psychic ability ranks are nothing more than a delusion. He revealed to Li Han that students of this generation have greater potential than Sergeant Red's generation. With a smile on his face, Instructor Wei told Li Han to not give up and to not stop training. Li Han gladly accepted this advice. The scene shifts and we see Li Han arrive at Class B. He put himself together and opened the door. He bumps into a huge boy when he opened the door. The boy was surprised to see Li Han. Li Han asked the boy if he knows him. The boy told Li Han that there is nobody in his class that does not know Li Han. The boy introduced himself to Li Han. He told Li Han that his name is Dmitry Vladimirovich Petrov. He is the class rep of Class B. Li Han was surprised to hear the boy's long name. He asked the boy if he had to call him his entire name if he wants to greet him. The boy shook Li Han's hand and told him to call him Dmitry. He told Li Han that they have been given free time for armed sparring. He told Li Han to follow him. When Li Han arrived at the gym, he saw something that shocked him. Armed combat is Li Han's favorite training. Thanks to Ark's suffocating curriculum, stress from his lacking psychic ability, the anxiety from the possibility that he could be expelled anytime, armed combat made it easy for Li Han to release all his stress. Li Han picked up a spear and charged forward. He used the spear to beat up 4 boys. After beating up the boys, Li Han asked them if it is fun to bully others. The kid the boys were bullying was Kuro. Kuro was surprised to see Li Han. Li Han told the boys that Kuro's specialty is his psychic ability. He asked the boys if it is really fun to harass someone by taking advantage of their weaknesses. With a threatening look on his face, Li Han told the boys that they should be grateful that they don't fight him during psychic training. When Dmitry saw Li Han beat the boys up, he became excited to fight Li Han. Guys, we have come to the end of our video. If you guys want part 3 of this video, let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button for more recaps. See you guys later.